evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Buckeye School Board. This is Tuesday, December 12th, and I know we're running a little late tonight, but we appreciate everyone coming on this snowy evening. So let's have the call to order, please. Roll call. Barker?
Here.
Matson?
Here.
Stoll?
Here.
Duncan? Here. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. There is a flag up above. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. Approval of minutes. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the minutes for the special and regular meetings of November 10th, 2017 and November 21st, 2017. A motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call. Burke?
I'll abstain.
Matson?
Yes.
Stoll?
Yes.
Yes. Following our recommendations that have been identified for approval as part of the consent agenda for this meeting, if a board member wishes to remove any item from the agenda for further discussion prior to taking action, please let either the superintendent or board president know. Approval of consent agenda. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the consent agenda of December 12th, 2017 as presented. A motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call. Matson?
Yes.
Burke?
Yes.
Stoll?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Morgan, special guest?
Yes, thank you. Good evening. We'd like to acknowledge our Students of the Month. If our students could come up here with our principals, we will learn who you are.
I'm very pleased to present the elementary students of the month. First, we have Evelyn Samosky. Evelyn, Mrs. Saville, Evelyn's third grade teacher, had this to say about her. Evelyn is an exemplary third grade student who strives to be the best she can be. I chose Evelyn to be the November Star student for many reasons. She is a kind-hearted young lady. She's willing to help other students when needed, and she demonstrates responsibility. She's a hard worker in and out of the classroom. Evelyn is respectful to me when I'm teaching and also when another student is talking during the classroom discussion. She's able to problem solve certain situations instead of coming to me. Evelyn is able to think about the situation and try to solve her problems on her own. I've really enjoyed having Evelyn in my classroom thus far, and I can't wait to see all the accomplishments she will obtain for the rest of the school year. She follows the Buckeye basics, and that makes her a star in my eyes. So congratulations, Evelyn. I'm also very honored to present the intermediate student of the month, Hamza Al-Nadi. I've known Hamza's. He was grown up into a wonderful young man. Hamza is a very hardworking student. He's very passionate about learning and is always asking questions and needs clarification. He's always on task, putting his best effort forward. He is respectful of his peers and adults. He's always willing to assist other students when they need help. He is someone who can always be counted on. Hamza is a great role model for students at Buckeye, and he's a joy to have in class from Mrs. Deaver and Mr. Adams.
Good evening, everyone. It's Mr. Peter High School Principal, but it's my privilege actually to stand for Mr. Clark tonight and announce the junior high school. I don't know Emily well, but I do know her family, and based on what I'm reading here, she is just another extremely high-quality trail to come through. So this is Emily's trail. This is what some of the things that Emily's teachers had to say about Emily here. She is exceptional in character, which is a now extent degree noteworthy and remarkable. She could not meet this definition better. She is impressively a selfish young lady who would give her time to others over herself in any instance or occasion presented. At the junior high, Emily is an absolutely stellar and dedicated student. She has driven her studies and will settle for nothing less than her best 100% of the time. She's involved in marching band, concert band, academic challenge, student council, and is an inductee to our new leadership club, all with impeccable manners and grace. Outside of school, Emily is involved in Girl Scouts, where she is working toward a silver award and planning to give back to her community with a focus on literacy. She's also volunteers as a Bible study leader at her church and is involved in dance and lyrical, hip-hop, tap, and ballet. Emily is poised and a humble young lady, wise beyond her years. She has manners that are second to none and is always willing to help others. Emily, we're very proud of you, and you definitely are well-deserving of this award. You can see Mr. Floods is in a nice paper situation here, but I've got some other things to say. The high school student of the month, our female student of the month is Madison Boda. Maddie is an extremely impressive young lady. She's had kind of a pretty good week or so here as well. The day I told her that she received the student of the month, she also had found out that she has received a very generous scholarship to attend John Carroll. She's also a part of Freshman Mentors, NHS, multiple AP classes. She took a leadership conference at Western, which was recommended by one of our teachers here at Buckeye. She volunteers at Cleveland Clinic and also serves as a lifeguard. Maddie is a great example of a well-rounded student and couldn't be more proud of her. And our male student of the month couldn't be here, but if you want to go watch the basketball game afterwards, he's playing here in a minute. That is Adam Fowler. Adam is, I could speak very highly of Adam for a very long time as well. He's very involved in school, in AP classes, and he is also a three-sport athlete, and I think he follows us as well, on and off the court. And so go watch it after this.
We have a special guest that we'd like to introduce.
Hello, hi. Stephen Carver. This past week, I was at dinner at the Career Center with Buckeye Senior Allison Carver, one of our seniors. And I had the opportunity to sit with her sister and her mom at the dinner. Caitlin is a 2007 graduate of Buckeye High School. She went from Buckeye to Baldwin Wallace, graduated there, went to Harvard, graduated, now she studies at St. Andrew's School of Scotland. So at the table, we're talking about Scotland and all the things that she sees over there before we even got on to Buckeye. And she told me about haggis and black pudding and Scotch whiskey. I know about Scotch whiskey. Of course I know about it. But yeah, I always ask kids when I see them that graduate from Buckeye, what do they like about Buckeye? What was their favorite teacher? What did they like, what they didn't like? And she went on to just start talking about her experience here at Buckeye. So Kaylin, she's currently at St. Andrews, and she is the editorial assistant for the Journal Inklings. She's the guest contributions editor for the Transposition of Theology and Imagination of the Arts. She's the blog development intern at the Scottish Grad School of Arts and Humanities. She's the digital content manager of the National Latin Network, and she's a junior scholar of the State of Formation, and she tutors in divinity and theological studies. She's an underachiever. She's working on her PhD. So as a board, we always tell our administrators and our teachers how much we appreciate what you do for us and for our kids here at Buckeye. I try talking about inspiration and change. And it's hard to quantify inspiration. What you've done as teachers, kids here at this age really want to like other things. And so this is a way to quantify that. And Caitlin's going to talk for a second. And our Christmas present to the teachers and administrators is the knowledge that you do inspire the kids here at Buckeye. So, Caitlin.
Right. So there are obviously two of you here who probably didn't know why you were here. So this is Ethan, Mr. Serio. Thank you for coming. I will start by saying that the classes I took with both of those teachers, I absolutely despised at first. I couldn't understand. I was so angry when I had to go to them. English, because I could not understand why I had to sit with this like big grammar book every day and go through actually why do I have to do this? There's a grammar check in Microsoft Word, why do we need to do this? At the end, it was, a very rewarding experience. I learned a lot, but it wasn't until I got much older that I realized no one else taught grammar. And I was the only one who knew grammar, and therefore I was a hot commodity because people were failing and someone could check their grammar. So I pay my bills about half by checking people's grammar. So there's that part. But I can also write well. I can, get published. I can, hopefully get my PhD. Fingers crossed. Year and a half left on that. But yeah, so thank you for putting us through the ringer because it really did pay dividends. And I'm appreciative of it every time I deal with my students who cannot write. And I'm just like, let's go back to basics. Here, let's start with grammar. Here's where we started. Diagram the sentence. I know it sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it will, I promise. And then I took my first advanced history class with Mr. Serio and kind of like clung to his classes like a little bit after that. I just took everything he offered. I ended up with, I had advanced world history. Then my second year, I took AP European history. But then I took his intro to psychology and his intro to world religions. And then I think I was like his course assistant for world religions my senior year. I ended up studying psych neuro for my bachelor's degree in science, and I studied history and religion for my math or my arts degree. So I don't know if he inspired anything I ever did. And all of the things he taught. But he was an incredible advocate, an incredible friend, and he's great. So I just want to, and again, and Mrs. Monsky, you're here. You're great. You've been amazing. You were amazing through my formative years as well. And so yeah, just as a teacher now, even as a pre-professor, I suppose. I can't even be an associate professor. So, but dealing with students isn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. So I hope you know that you're appreciated. I appreciate you, so thank you.
Cold, I don't know if you get this in your yard, but you can take that back to Scotland.
Yeah, we're going to take a 5 or 10 minute break so we can take pictures of our students of the month. All right, let's call the meeting back to order. And we are ready for the treasurer's report.
My first item is the appropriation resolution Just resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education accepts the treasurer's report as presented, including all internal budgets, amended certificates, and appropriations to the county auditor as on file in treasurer's office, which is Appendix A. Tonight we have a depository agreement, and this is with PNC Bank for 5 years. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education accept the depository agreement with PNC for all the district banking services commencing January 1, 2008 through December 31st, 2023. Transportation agreement, resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education agrees to pay Mrs. Gerber for 20 miles a day based on federal rate for transporting a special needs student to Evolve for the 2017-2018 school year. This payment will be made monthly based on attendance records. The parent will now transport the morning and afternoon drop-off and pick-up. In lieu of transportation, resolved that upon the recommendation of the treasurer, the Board of Education approves payment in lieu of transportation by school bus for children attending accredited schools which exceed 30 minutes driving distance and which we declare are impractical to transport to in accordance with section 3327.01 of the Ohio Revised Code. Student named Brennan Williams, School of Florence Upper School. Next is the rescinding of payment. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education rescind the previously approved payment of the in lieu of transportation for the following student, Elizabeth Berkheimer at St. Adelbert School in Berea. And another appropriation revision, just resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve revisions as submitted to the permanent appropriations for fiscal year 18.
A motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments for the treasurer, or do you have anything else you want to add? Roll call.
Barker?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Self?
Yes.
Yes. The public is invited to speak to any of the agenda items and other school topics at this time. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Direct questions will not be answered by Board of Education members at this time. However, answers will be given at a later date as appropriate. Is there anyone who would like to speak tonight? Hearing none, we'll continue with the superintendent's informational items.
Thank you. We have some administrators that are presenting today. Mrs. Ivy Doty will be first up.
All right. Well, I am Tech Integration Specialist at Buckeye, and I just want to give you a little update of what's going on with our technology department. So you're going to see it in backwards and then forwards. Okay, so this is just a little update. First, as you know, Jim Kearns, our leader, our tech coordinator, is retiring this month. So I thought I'd give you a bit of history, the past 20 years, before we go into what's going on now. So I got some screenshots of some of our devices. The sad part is that tonight I was working on removing things from inventory, and I actually got one of those 1996 NECs and about 4 2003 gateways. So they have lasted us a long time, but they're going to the recycling now. So it's just kind of, through the years, we went from Windows-based machines to Macintoshes, and now we're a district of Macintosh and Chromebooks. Other than the treasurer's office, who is determined to stick with those Windows programs. Interactive displays, we started with smart boards and active boards in 2000, and this year we've started replacing those. So they are devices that were supposed to last about 10 years, so we've got well more than our 10 years out of them, but they are dying at a rapid rate. So this year we replaced kindergarten and first grade teachers with a new Clever Touch. So it doesn't require a projector, it is a backlit display, and they are beautiful. In 1997, Jim started here in, I believe, 96. He put in the first round of cabling and wiring closets in the district. And now we have 2 server rooms housed in this building, and then wiring closets throughout the district and wireless access points throughout the district. Those are not our actual closets, although they look pretty familiar. We started out with Microsoft 3.0 about 20 years ago, and then we moved into our Macintosh operating systems, and now we've included Google as well. And you may not have known this, but Buckeye was the very first school district in Medina County to go Google. And that was something that Carl Walker and Jim Kern saw and went, oh, we need to get on this. This is going to be great. And they thought it was going to be great before anyone else kind of got the inkling. So our tech personnel, Jim started here in 1996. We contracted for him through the Medina ESC. And then in 2001, he was actually hired on at Buckeye. Carl joined, and Keith Walker, actually, both of the brothers, were consultants through a company called Noble Knight, starting in 2002. Then in 2004, we hired Carl through the Medina ESC. And then just last year, we hired on Carl as the Assistant Technology Coordinator. So we have some serious longevity in our tech coordinator and tech support. Tech integration makes me a little nervous because we've had a lot more turnover in that area. The first person was Chris Pennington, who was here for a year, then Mary Crabtree, who is now a teacher here. Deb Muccio was here for a number of years. Lori Green was here, and now you've got me. So I think this is some really interesting numbers. 80 devices, that was the approximate number of student and staff devices when Jim started in 1996. Currently, we have approximately 1,969 devices in the district, and we have about 3,000 devices accessing the network on any given day because we have teachers with laptops and there are still some desktops and people with their phones and students with phones, and so we get a lot of usage of our network. What do we do? Well, back in 96, it was mostly word processing, a little bit of coding, lots of typing skills, and you may remember educational software on floppy disks. And now we're still doing all of those things, but we're also doing presentations and spreadsheets and research and online curriculum as we get away from textbooks and video production, all kinds of music and art projects, and of course the online assessments. So here are the things we're working on now. In my wheelhouse, the integration side, it's all about on-the-spot coaching. When someone has a question, teaching them how to do the thing that they are asking about. Staff training, software database maintenance, clever single sign-on. We have a new application this year that our kindergarten and first graders actually have a little badge, and when they go to the computer, they hold the badge up and it logs them in so they don't have to type. And that takes them to a portal with pictures of all their different applications where they can click on those and just go straight without having to log in again. And then 2nd through 12th, they sign in with their Google username and they're able to get to the same list of applications and log in just once and get there. I take care of Google email. We have a new inventory and device management system called Snipe It that Carl helped us put together. Working on budgeting, updating, extending our 5-year plan, and our student insurance, which is new this year, and of course troubleshooting as it is necessary. The boys, as we fondly call them, are working on a network assessment of everything throughout the district, looking towards upgrading, helping with our security, and possibly looking at voice over internet protocol. Working on security issues, website maintenance, device repair, e-rate work, staff ID badges, server replacement plans, server maintenance, and some cooling issues in our server rooms, and of course the ever-present troubleshooting. This is just a little information about our one-to-one device repair. We were a little nervous. We were thinking, gosh, are we getting too high? So what you're seeing, that big purple area, those are all the devices we have not touched hands on. So those are all just going along and having no issues at all. And that's about 85%, 86, is that right? 80, sorry, get rid of what window. Yeah, 84.9%. Then the blue portion, we have seen those devices, that's about 8.5%, but there was no cost to the student. We were able to fix it without any charge to them at all. So really, we are at about 6% of things that we have actually had to repair devices at a cost through the insurance. So I think we're doing really well with that. I was nervous about it about a week ago, going, gosh, it seems like we're doing a lot of LCD repairs. We've replaced about 40 of the LCD screens, and most of those have been user mishaps. Either they've dropped it, or they've left earphones in and shut it, and it cracks the screen. But for the most part, we're doing very well, well under the 10% that we kind of estimated. So where are we headed next? We're going to continue our one-to-one rollout. Next year will be 7 through 11. We're looking at the replacement of the rest of our smart boards throughout the district over the next 4 or 5 years, focusing on using our technology to further the curriculum in the district and preparing our students for 21st century with all of the tech skills they will need. On-the-spot coaching for staff and students. We're trying to restructure our tech department to better meet the needs of our students and staff. And then, again, this network assessment that's going on and looking at changing from a flat network to a routed network. So instead of all of us being on one big network, we would divide up into multiple networks, which is a more secure way. And there we go. Do you have any questions for me?
I just think that was a marvelous report.
Oh, thank you.
Taking us from where we were to where we are now. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm amazed at what has happened, and to think that Jim was here for all of it. Just was kind of a nice time to reflect on what had happened under his tutelage.
A quick question.
Sure.
The insurance fee.
Yes.
Yes. Since it's working out that we're really not that committed that insurance money as much, is there any room to look at these numbers, possibly self-insured, drop the fee?
Yes, actually, Carl and I were discussing that earlier today, and we'd really like to wait for a 3-year cycle, because in the first year of the device, they're typically brand new and not as much breakage. A little more happens the second year, and by the third year we may have more. So we kind of like to hold it for a 3-year cycle and then definitely look at reducing it. Yes. Yes, thank you.
Amy, thank you. And I don't know if you know anyone that might be able to put that presentation on our website.
Yeah, I can probably look that up.
Thank you. Nancy.
I brought someone with me tonight that is going to do.
Where should I stand?
Where would you like to stand?
I would love to send over there.
Then we will go over there.
Thank you.
It's going to do a project search. We've talked about project search before. We have our second student in project search this year. Project search has been put together by the Educational Service Center through Rachel Krause, who is home with the flu tonight. So Kayla was planning on coming with her anyway. Kayla Dean is the instructor at Project Search. This is a program that's done through Westfield, and I had the benefit of going out into one of the meetings that they have on the students were invited to come as well, as they talked about her first quarter of Project Search and how she's doing, and it was extremely impressive to do, to go and watch her. Our student last year graduated and is working full-time. Matter of fact, he's working overtime. This was a student that we weren't sure would have a job a couple of years ago, and in something that he wanted to do. And he worked diligently with them, and he's doing a beautiful job and working, as we said, his benefits, he's got the whole vacation, the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to let her present to you about Project Search.
Hi, everybody. Like she said, I'm hired through the ESC of Medina County. So a really quick background about Project Search. Project Search has around over 500 sites internationally. There's, in the United States, I believe there's around 400, and then overseas, the remainder. It might be even more. Every year, it's tripling in the amount of different programs. But where the roots kind of come from are actually in Ohio and Cincinnati. There was a woman by the name of Erin and a woman by the name of Susie. Erin, like it says up there, was working for the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And she was running a floor and finding that her staff, if it was a job that there were certain jobs that had really high turnover. She was really racking her brain on how can I fill these positions and keep somebody in this position. So she found out that they had a couple of different volunteers with special needs throughout the hospital, but doing very minimal work, and it was more of just like a show face thing. And she realized that these individuals with special needs had such a passion for these jobs that she thought that this would be a perfect, these jobs where she had this high turnover would be a perfect spot for these individuals. So she reached out to a woman by the name of Susie Rudkowski, who it says was running the Great Oaks career campuses with the DD, and thought, do you have anybody you can send me? I really have these jobs, and that's where this program began. At first, it wasn't so, she used education-based, but it was more of just like an outreach program, and now it is completely education-based with a project search curriculum included. You can probably roll it. The program model is a comprehension, an inclusive model in a business. So these are local businesses that are either reaching out, or districts or ESCs or whatever it may have, that are saying, we would love to have a project search. So the model is this inclusive vocational training program where these individuals go to the business and learn hands-on job training from the entire staff of this business. So the overall goal of the program is this competitive employment by the end of it. What else is it? So the individuals have to have, be on an IEP, they have to hit a certain different amount of criteria, and this goes into the next, but the goal is, by the end of it, to be able to go out in the community, you can see this individual being competitively employed, and those jobs are there. There's a lot of employment first changes, so this program, if you're unaware of what employment first is, they are getting slowly diminishing supportive employment programs or sites, and this competitive everybody can work is happening. So this competitive program is helping them to learn these, whether it be social skills, job training skills, or just all-around employability for them to get a job in the community. I'm sorry, can you go back? Thank you. It is a one-year internship program, so we are at Westfield Business Centers, but it's in a lot of hospitals, a lot of colleges, LCC, Lakeland, Mercy Hospital, Cleveland Clinic up in Cleveland, and it's continuing to grow. This is an exit program, so these individuals, no matter the age, 18 to 22, the next step is employment. So this is going into transitioning into this vocational training program, transitioning into job development to that end goal of competitive employment in their community. These are our partners, so it's not just a one-sided entity. We work as a team throughout this whole program, which is really awesome for these individuals that participate because they are completely staffed with their team that will be with them all the way into their adult living. Westfield is our awesome, and I don't know if you've ever been to Westfield, but it's super cool down there. And they are so welcoming, and they love our guys, and they just want to see them strive so much. The ESC, for where I work from, DD, can you just well, I can just say it. Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, they are the partner that is funding. And then Oakleaf Partners is our vendor, so we work with 2 job coaches, so it's myself, Maria, and Joey in the room. Our job coaches are paid by OOD, and they are doing the job coaching along with myself, but we are a complete team working with these individuals. So typical employment outcomes for young adults with disabilities once they exit is 25%. Employment outcomes for young adults with disabilities after a year in a project search program, and this is even higher, is an average of 74%. Well, there it is, 73%, that's higher too. Our site last year, as first time rolled out in Medina County, has 5 out of its 6 interns. That number is wrong. We just had a new hire, 5 out of 6, 83%. And reason being, one of them, their parent pulled them, so we can't really do anything with that. We really thought we were going to have 100% employment. And these are 2 hired at Westfield, and the remaining being out in their communities, along with the individual that went here. He works for Servitech. The kid was so into security and wanting to protect, and we just couldn't figure out how to do it. Well, now he's working at Servitech, completing in a facility life rafts for the defense of the United States. So it's really, really awesome.
That was his goal.
Yeah, and this is right up his alley. Working a lot. And this isn't just job training. These kids grow in a different light. These kids who you think are never going to be able to get over this anxiety. We had one individual who was presenting at our graduation who couldn't even talk to a person in a room. The other gentleman who came here, we didn't know what was going to happen. He got his license. Or we were like, Tyler, you know, but it was awesome. Got it right after through because he gained this confidence that within this employment-based program he just gained with the typical peers.
I'm going to jump in right into one second because this particular story, I went to graduation. And it was just a ceremony that they did, and Westfield presented, and everyone presented. And some of you may have heard this before because I've talked about it. After the presentation was done, and I went up to shake his hand, and I can never say this, he told me it was an honor that he was able to be in this program, and he thanked us for allowing him to do this. And I think again, I have history with this student for several years, so to watch him come this far and to watch his frustration of not being able to maybe go into the Army, of not being able to defend our country. That's what he kept saying to me, I just want to defend our country. And to put him in a place here where he realized that he can defend it by other means and other ways, and to watch him grow like that. I was able to go down and visit him periodically through the year. It was an honor for me, more than an honor, but he thanked us, and he thanked all of you very much for allowing him to do that. So,
we didn't teach him anything how to build life reps at Westfield, but he gained these other skills that Tyler didn't talk to us at all. For like the first month and a half he was there, 2 months, he was extremely reserved and quiet and intrusive, and all of a sudden Tyler was giving us his likes, singing Queen. I mean, these little things where he was always afraid to be himself, and it just came. So I know I've taken up a little bit of your time, but I have this really awesome video, and Westfield actually created it. And these are our interns from last year, and a couple other partners that we deal with, and it really shows the growth that they've gone through in that year.
Project Search is an international educational program for transition students. It is a competitive internship program where potential interns work to learn job skills. My name is Andrew Cruz, and I'm a Transition Services Coordinator at UCP Rare Cleveland and Oakland Partners. The ultimate goal of Project Search is to help transition-age students with disabilities to find jobs in the community, and we have a 70% placement rate.
My name is Bob Taylor. I'm a Senior Employee Relations Specialist with the HR team at Westfield. One of our biggest strategic goals is to attract and retain a diverse workforce. This program fits in so well with that. It really accomplishes everything we set out to do as an organization as far as opening our doors to all sorts of different folks who bring all sorts of different skill sets, all sorts of different.
My name is Faye. I end up here for find a job and learn how to do a resume and a cover letter and how to do like checks and money. And my first internship was at Smoker Hall. I wrapped cookies, wrapped the cakes, made pizza, and served soup to customers.
My name is Tyler A. Napper. I believe I started off here because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And along the way I started to find out possibilities in a job. I really like the opportunities I have here at Westfield and how they have better strengthened my professionalism and everything required for getting a job out in the world.
My name is Maria Stearns. I am the Project Search Skills Trainer. My job here is to support the interns in any way, provide the necessary tools to make them successful. For an incoming intern, you have to want to work. You have to want a job in the community. You want to be a productive member of society.
Project Search brings the interns into different business units. This year was specifically hospitality, and at the end they would come in and either learn dishwashing, laundry, or they would learn how to do housekeeping for our rooms.
I had the opportunity to work with Sarah, Chris, and Renee through the internship, and each one of them, I looked at it as, okay, let's start off with the basics with them, see what they're capable of. We had Chris at the end of our internship, and he blew us away. The teachers asked me if there was any way that we could have him go on our POS systems and actually bring in employees with their meals. And I was a little hesitant because it can be a complicated system, and within his first day, he was actually doing transactions on his own.
When Emma first started with us, we had a lot of organizing and counting tasks, but as her personality started to come out more, we were able to also use her in a hosting capacity. And so she came to some events with us and passed out name tags and got to greet some of our guests that we serve in hospitality.
If you're that student who is really confused about what they want to do in their future, Project Search is for you. It lets you get into different departments throughout Project Search and here at Westfield to really see what your strengths are and where you're going to strive in that future job.
Project Search has really helped me with seeing that I'm better with people than I thought, and it's shown me different skills and different jobs that I could potentially do. Project Search has actually just helped me get a job, and I was just recently hired.
These interns are doing things that they never thought they would ever do. And they're talking to people, they're doing their jobs, and to watch the growth of them, you know, evolve the entire 9 months that we're here, it's just pretty amazing. And then when they get a job, like I'll go out there and job coach, and they're you know, actually working side by side. They're in a, you know, regular jobs with everyone else. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Can you talk a little bit about the new areas that you're in?
Yes. So really fast, last year we started off, it was a new thing, so we only were hospitality based, and that's what we kind of heard them. We are now into our business entities. We have kids working in our mailroom, which work with actually Xerox, and they are shipping and receiving. There's a $250,000 mail machine that they are typing in policy numbers and agent numbers and doing barcodes and scanning mail out, bringing mail in. We have in HR, that's our new one this year, where our kids are working at a human resource base, so they're working on scheduling, working with people, and helping out all of our HR reps. We are a customer care center, so if you got in an accident and you call, that's who you talk to, so it's a quiet zone, so they are taking, they're doing a lot of filing, mailing, anything you can do with, they're working on their computer system actually, checking to see if agents have been notified of change of addresses, so they are right into that little aspect of it. And we are in general services, so we had an intern in the summer there in that August to whatever. She was planting flowers, tearing up flowers, preparing for winter, and now we're inside doing a whole building. The student that actually went here, Ms. Lena, she is kicking butt, because we just started, and she's only been there 3 days, and she is kicking butt at cleaning these housekeeping positions. And we were a little hesitant, and she is already independent on half the skills. She's cleaning the entire main building, and she's working with a woman, and she is doing so amazing. So already we've seen so much growth, and it's only been a couple months. So. Thank you.
Glenn Reisner has a presentation on maintenance.
Okay, I can't beat that. This is totally different than what I'm used to. So we're going to do maintenance and stuff like that. But I'm just going to give you an idea of what I've been up to. Phones, I found out when I took over this position, phones were dropped on me. And the first day the teachers were back, it was probably my biggest headache in the world. So we did some research, and I was looking at upgrading our carrier from Frontier versus Armstrong. I find out going through one of the carriers here, I can estimate about $514 savings per month. So, and that eliminates all the long distance carriers that we have right now. And that's also, we're changing our alarm system to cellular communication, which is a better communication. And that also is eliminating or keeping our bill cheaper because we don't have the spot lines that we have to go through. So, and I dealt with John over at the Career Center. We had some conversations. I worked with him, and he gave me some ideas too. But they're going through NeoNet type, but it's all through Armstrong. Everything's through Armstrong. So a good way to go. LED lighting, I'm replacing all of our lights here with LEDs, eliminating the ballasts and bulbs. They cost the same amount of the LED lights, so we might as well just replace it. Plus you get a 10-year warranty on the life of a light now. So if you've been around the junior high, you notice it looks a little bit whiter. It's not yellow, but it's a brighter light, so it looks really nice. We have the LED lights that are out here in the parking lot. They changed all the lights in the cafeteria here. But here's the neat thing is we found out I could do a mercantile project. Those are jobs where we did, and we get a rebate. So we're going to be getting a check for around $938 back. And I also just got done, we're going to have another $75 coming back for another project that we did that way. And I have the next page coming through here. I know it's hard to see because it's small, it's my spreadsheet. But here's two projects we could go in with LED lighting. And it's telling you what our yearly savings is going to be. It also says the rebate that we're going to get from Ohio Edison for that. So we're getting out of return around $6,980 for the first year. But then every year we'll be saving another $3,800 by going with the LED lighting. So it's the direction we have to go. It's the quickest energy savings there are in LED lights because you're going from a 60-watt bulb to a 45-watt bulb. You're going from a 40 to a 12-watt bulb and getting more light for a longer period of time. And it never is that going that dingy color. Look around our sconces right here, those are regular lights. And you get those all changed over to LEDs, it'll be brighter. These will be brighter. There's an LED light somewhere they took it out, disconnected. But it's bright. I mean, it's bright. So that's what I've been working on just for some savings, money savings information. Some of the projects we finished this year: a football stadium fence, security cameras, replaced the high school auditorium seating. I stained the front of the high school stage. It was painted brown. I stained that up. We had the school painted here. We repaired the high school roof over the weight room where it was leaking. Now we can paint the walls inside the high school. The PM maintenance we were doing on the AC and the HVAC. Yes, I've spent quite a bit of money, but right now our mechanics have had their years up. They're over 10 years, they're starting to wear out, and we got to replace them. But the PM, we were able to catch quite a bit of it. I think we're doing a good job of keeping everybody happy around the school district. I think the principals are satisfied with how we're taking care of that with the teachers. We have 5 air handlers when I came here. We had 13 air handlers. We thought it was 11, but it's 13. When I came here, none of them were working. They were all turned off. So I brought a gentleman in here, a couple of good guys in here, and they took parts and pieces off all the air handlers. So we got 5 out of 13 now running in the school. Now the goal is to get all 13 running because that gets the CO2, gets the air quality better, less chance of kids getting sick in school, something like that, because you're putting fresh air in and blowing the bad air out. Like I already talked about relamping. We went to the high school, which was interesting. We had a problem with the bathroom, and we wanted to fix the toilet, and there was no shut-off valve, so we'd have to turn all the water off in school just to change. So I brought in a plumber, and we went and we put shut-off valves around so we can do with that stuff individually. I got upcoming projects coming up. I got to address the high school shop wall. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but it's moving. So we've got to adjust that and get that at least stable so it doesn't do anything else. We're working on the baseball field. I need to get new HVAC controls for the elementary, and I'd like to also get those for the junior high, because the junior high is now 24/7. It's constantly running. We're not adjusting the heat to where it is in the classrooms, so we can turn it down and save money that direction there. Light controls here in the school are not working. It used to be that as the day would go by, lights would be dimming down and shutting off through here. This program's not working anymore, so the lights are on. If somebody didn't turn a light off in the room, they're still on. Before we get shut down, energy saving again, we're wasting money back there. We're going to continue the lights to the LEDs, because that's just a smart thing to do. I'm looking into digitizing the blueprints and the OM manuals. So I don't know if you've ever been in my office and tried to find a print that's halfway decent, or which is the final one. If you can't find it, I had a gentleman came in, gave me a quote. I haven't broken the news to the superintendent yet, so I got to make sure he's a good move when that happens. We're working with some people here with a 5-year plan for our roofing, HVAC, and painting project. So, the last page is just to give you an idea of what we've spent so far to date. In October, I didn't get the paper from the treasurer's office until after I got this typed up here. This is where the money has been put into for the year. I still have $1,950,000 in purchase service on the PI, and $109,500 still haven't used up, but I will. I'll guarantee you I will use that up. Just to let you know, we are using the school dude, and just to give you an idea how the school dude way I'm working so far. For this first quarter here, I've completed and closed out 52 work orders. I've got 4 that are completed. I'm still waiting for prices to close those out. I have 3 work orders in process right now, and I have no new requests as of the quarter. So that keeps it up. I've been present prices on all of it, everything I've done. To let everybody know how much this work order is costing us to get done. And nothing that we do is ever cheap. Sometimes we do our best to keep it down. So, any questions?
You said you had 3 work orders open?
Yes, 3 work orders open.
Those are requests from the staff or compare?
Yeah, they're requests from staff members. I mean, I had one the other day for a pencil sharpener. Pencil stuff jammed in the pencil sharpener. That was the hardest one to fix.
With the number of staff here, I must say,
thank you very much. It's been very hard. I do what's called Monday walkabout. I do walkabout from school to school, asking questions, talking to the principals. I see the teachers. Anybody they put in a work order. I go to the classroom and I talk to them and see what's going on. So there's the communication one-on-one, so they know that there's somebody there who's going to assist them and help them out where we can. So hopefully I'm doing a good job. I don't have complaints yet. It'll probably come sooner or later. Anything else?
Thank you, Glenn.
I'm going to dismiss myself, so I'm going to watch that.
Yeah. Moving on to the next item, we have our update on our strategic plan. I want to thank all of our administrators and those members of their committees that have been putting time in. That is Appendix K. I also want to acknowledge the work that Ryan Kearns' class has been putting in with their, it's a digital design?
Yeah, graphics
class. And he shared those with me today, and I'm looking forward to putting those together. And I'm expecting to have that for board approval at our January meeting. So thank you, and I'll be getting back with you in regards to the final layouts there. Yeah. Thank you for your direction with the work of your students.
It's a great assignment.
Good. So that's Appendix K. Then we have our 2018-19 back of the calendar for Appendix C, and that also will be coming for board approval in January. The item D is organizational meeting. We'll have our organizational meeting to start the new school year, or the new calendar year, January 3rd, 2018 at 4 o'clock in our Board of Education office. Item E is our upcoming holiday break, December 20th to January 2nd, 2018. Our first day back to school for students will be January 3rd. And have a special recognition. Mrs. Lumberman.
Earlier this evening at our 6 o'clock special meeting, we had the opportunity to thank Kim Siselich, one of our board members, who is leaving office. We have someone new coming in January, and that someone new is Denise Bavarti, who is here tonight. Kim had to leave because, as we know, the roads are bad, and she works downtown Cleveland at the Cleveland Clinic Hospital. So she's working tonight and needed to get a little bit of a head start, so she's not here with us now. But we did award her a plaque for her service on the school board. And I guess I would just like to say that Kim has been a very strong advocate for students. And as we talk and work together, she has always looked at what was best for Buckeye students, and we certainly appreciate her work on the school board. And I think John wanted to say some things too about Kim.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank Kim for her service. She was a constant voice of reason with the school board, very high intelligence and high integrity. She would perform her duties with the overall goal of doing what's best for students, no matter what the pressures were from the outside. She didn't let anything intimidate her or give her pressure, but she was very courageous. Her educational background was second to none amongst all the board members, and she was a true believer in the education process, and she will be missed.
Anyone else have any comments?
I would just like to thank her for her years of service. And she had to put up with, I don't know if anybody's ever thought about what it's like to sit on the board of education. It's not the easy job necessarily. Not that you have the easy job, right? But I do appreciate what she's done for the last 4 years.
Same here. It's been 4 years. We appreciate her being here and putting in time. It's not the easiest job in the world. Thank you for serving our community.
All right, then we'll move on to superintendent's recommendations.
Item A, recognition of booster group. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the request from the following organization to be recognized as a booster group which support the curricular and extracurricular endeavors of our students for the 2017-18 school year are all sports boosters. Item B, approval of service quote. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the attached quote from Armstrong Business Solutions for the Buckeye Schools campus phones and fax lines, Appendix D. Item C, approval of course of study. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the Ohio Science Fusion Curriculum Program for grades 4 through 8 as submitted by Dr. Christina Collins, Appendix E. Also want to thank our science teachers for piloting 2 different programs to help make the decision for the curriculum. Item D, approval of job description. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the attached revised job description for the position of Treasurer Assistant. That's Appendix F. Item E, approval of job description. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the attached revised job description for the position of Technology Coordinator. That's Appendix G. Item F, approval of Memorandum of Understanding. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the Memorandum of Understanding with Cuyahoga Community College for 2017 school year. A copy of the MOU will be on file in the Treasurer's Office. A copy of the MOU is attached to board members' agendas as Appendix J. Item G, recognition of extracurricular organization. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the request for the following organization to be recognized as an extracurricular group at Buckeye local schools for the 2017 school year. That's the Buckeye Intermediate and Junior High Ski Club.
We'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Any comments, questions on the recommendations? Roll call.
Stahl?
Yes.
Batson?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Yes. New business?
Item A, first reading of the following policies. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education consider the policies listed below as presented. Copies of the complete policies are attached to board members' agendas as Appendix H. 3220, standards-based teacher evaluation.
All right, no need for a vote on first reading, so we'll move on to personnel.
Item A, certified personnel. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following personnel items as presented. Number 1, family medical leave of absence. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education accept the family medical leave of absence for Brittany Bevington, second grade teacher, effective January 2nd, 2018, for 12 weeks of family medical leave and unpaid child care leave for the remainder of the 2017-18 school year. Item 2, family medical leave of absence. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education accept the family medical leave of absence for Ashley Strang, high school physical education teacher, effective approximately February 9, 2018. Ms. Strang's plans to return to her position approximately April 20th, 2018. Item 3, resignation. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education accept the resignation of James Hughes, high school social studies teacher, effective May 29, 2018. Mr. Hughes' resignation is for the purpose of retirement. Item 4, home instructors. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the home instruction rate of pay as the base zero of first year level of compensation for tutors as set forth in the BLEA negotiated agreement. Current certified teaching staff members are eligible upon approval of the respective building administrator for home instruction. Item B, certified substitutes. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the attached list of certified substitutes / tutors recommended by the Medina County Schools ESC to work on an as-needed basis for the 2017-18 school year. That is Appendix I. Item C, supplemental contract approval. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following supplemental contracts pending certifications as well as resignations effective for the 2017-18 school year as listed. We have the junior high school athletic event site manager, Greg Dennison, 3/4 of a contract at $1,500. George Cease, 1/4 of a contract for $500. Intermediate / junior high ski club volunteer, Eric Fike. Resignation of Ben Lutman, yearbook advisor, effective 11/29/17. And a contract amendment for Aaron, yearbook advisor at .95. Item D, other personnel. Resolved the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following rates of pay. Current employees are eligible upon their approval of the respective administrator. Item 1 is detention monitor at $11.90 per hour. And number 2 is the athletic ticket taker at $15 per game.
We'll entertain a motion for these personnel items. Second?
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mattson?
Yes.
Barker?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Conkling?
Yes. Donations?
Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education accept and recognize the following donations to Buckeye local schools as presented. Item A, donation of a pitching machine by Bill Yoder for use by the Buckeye softball / baseball teams. And item B, donation of $3,530 by Nisi Pazder for use by the Buckeye Food Service to pay for delinquent lunch charges.
Do we need a motion to accept donations? I would entertain a motion for that then.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Barker?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Conkling?
Yes. It's time for board comments. We'll start with Mr. Mattson.
Thank you. Thanks for being here on a snowy night. Merry Christmas. We got tonight the approval of the science program. And think about Caitlin, who was here earlier about Teachers that Inspire. I know after our science teachers dragged those kids out there for solar eclipse, I heard from people that said, it was the best first day of school they ever had, and how awesome that was. And maybe Inspire is going to be a strong for science. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Mr. Barker?
Merry Christmas. I hope everyone has a great holiday and safe.
Mr. Stahl?
Thanks everyone for coming. Really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who made donations for what Nisi did. I think that was very, very nice and appreciative. So, Merry Christmas to all.
And I would like to wish everyone a happy holiday season and fun time with families, a little bit of downtime, a different schedule. And I, again, would like to thank Kim for her service and welcome Denise Pilarchi to join our board in January. The organizational meeting is January 3rd. Let's entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Barker?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Conkling?
Yes. Take your time getting home tonight.
Just on the clock for about 2:52.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's what I saw.